Okay, this video is for how to do simple interest problems using Excel. Excel, future value, present value, these were designed to do compound interest, but you can work with it and make it do simple interest. And the way you do that is you have the payment and the period. Payment will always be 0 for our class, and the period will always be 1 for any simple interest problem. You can't have more than one period or else it's compound. Okay, then these 3 blue variables are the ones that we will be working with Excel. Future value is the amount at the end. Present value is the amount that you start with. And rate is the rate that you're going to, the total percentage that you're going to earn over the duration of the loan. So this rate per period, lowercase I, is defined to be the annual rate times by the time. And if you divide both sides by t, then the annual rate is the rate per period divided by the time. So I'm going to put these formulas down here for reference. Rate per period is annual rate times time. So annual rate R, rate per period I. And then if you need to find the annual rate, you take the rate per period and you divide by the time. So Excel will give you, when it says rate, it means rate per period. Okay, let's try one. If you want to earn 11% annual simple interest on an investment, how much should you pay for a note that will be worth $4,200 in 7 months? Okay, I want to earn 11%. That's annual simple interest. How much should I pay for a note? That's what I'm looking for, present value. That will be worth, that's future value, $4,200. I'll be getting that money back, so I'll make it positive. And it's in 7 months, so my length of time will be 7 divided by 12. Then the Excel rate per period is the annual rate multiplied by the part of the year. So over 7 months, I'll make 6.4% interest on my money. Okay, then present value. Get the rate. That's the Excel rate, the I, the rate per period. Number of periods is always 1. You can either reference the cell or you can type it in statically. Payment is always 0. Future value, reference the cell. Type is, for our course, is always a 0. End of the period, you can type in a 0 or you can just leave it blank in Excel. We'll put it in by default. So the amount I should pay is $39.46, and since I'm paying it, let me fix that, $39.46, Excel brought it back to me as a negative number. Okay, let's try this one, number 6. To buy a treasury bill that matures to $10,000, that's the future value, in 6 months, that's the length of time, 6 out of 12, you have to pay $97.30. So it's leaving your pocket. Let's make it negative $9,730. What annual simple interest rate does this earn? So we're looking for this interest rate. Okay, the problem is Excel can't solve for the annual rate. Excel can solve for the rate per period. And it does that with the rate formula. Rate, number of periods, always a 1. Payment, always a 0 for simple interest in our course. Next, present value, $97.30, and future value. Make sure that those $2 amounts have different signs because the cash flows are going in different directions. End of the period, yes, always put in a 0. And then when you're solving for rate, it asks for a guess. I'm guessing an interest rate, I'm just going to guess like 10%. It just needs something to start off with, and then it can do it like a guess and check to find the answer. So it got back 3%. Now notice the formatting on this. If I change to number, it's actually not 3%. If I open up more decimal places, That will be important down here. Okay, I'm trying to solve for the annual rate. Annual rate is the rate per period divided by the time. So this will be the rate that I got per period. So I got 2.77%, but I did that in only half of a year. So if I divide by that half of the year, I actually earned, let me make this a percent and open up some more decimal places. I got the annual equivalent would be 5.55%. In half of a year, I only earned 2.77%. Okay, what interest rate does it earn? 5.5. Round your answer to one decimal place after making it a percent. Okay, let me go ahead and put that in. Have it do fewer. There we go. Okay, so it will round to 5.5. Ooh, that's interesting. See, if I had it just here, I would have said it would round to 5.6 because the 5 would round up. But if I open more decimal places, it's actually 5.498. Rounded to one decimal place, 5.5. There it is. If the bank charges a fee of $20 to buy the bill, what's the actual interest rate you earn? So the fee gets charged up front, which means now I don't pay just $97.30. I have to pay $97.30 plus I have to pay $20, and the $20 is leaving my pocket also. So altogether, I now send out from me $9,750. And when I update that amount, now the interest rate falls to 2.56% because I had to pay more to get it, and my annual rate falls to 5.1%. Let's look at number 8. If you want to earn 7% annual simple interest, so annual rate 7%, how much should you pay for a note that will be worth $6,000? That's the money I will get back, so that would be positive in 5 months. So time would be 5 out of 12. I'm looking for how much should I pay. I need to have the rate. The rate per period is annual rate, I'm using this formula, times by the amount of time. So in those 7 months, I'll earn about 2.9% on my money. Okay, present value would be PV formula, get the rate for the period, number of periods is 1, payment is 0, future value 6,000, ignore the type. Let me see what I did wrong there. Rate 2.9, number of periods 1, payment 0, future value 6,000, ignore the type. There we go. 58.29 and 96 cents. Let's do Bill Kassler. So I'm going to do bills, and this is his bill CD. Okay, Bill makes an agreement with the bank. He bought a 1,000, so that's negative $1,000 leaving his pocket. CD that would earn 8.8%. Annual simple interest. And it was a 9-month CD. So 9 out of 12. That makes the rate per period, annual rate multiplied by time. What will be the future value? So the future value, get the rate per period, number of periods, payment, present value is right behind there. Let's move that out of the way. There it is. Present value, and we can ignore the type. So 1066, let me change that just to make sure I'm not missing any decimal places. Nope. $1,066. Oops, excuse me. That was part A. Got it. Okay. Then here comes the friend. 3 months before it's due to mature, the friend is going to give Bill some money, and the friend will get back the CD value. So the friend will end up with the 1066. The friend's investment is only for 3 months. The friend is going to earn 10% simple interest, so his rate per period, 10% times 1/4, he's going to earn 2.5%. How much should he pay to Bill? That's a present value. The friend should invest in Bill right now. Let's move this. They want the rate first. Number of periods is 1. Payment is 0. Future value, 1066. Ignore the type. Put in a 0 for end of the period. Either way. The friend should pay Bill 1040. Okay, now, Bill in the end. So after everything is done, what did Bill actually make? So Bill's future value, the money Bill gets back, is this $10,040 that he gets from his friend. Bill's present value is the original amount that he invested, $1,000. Make that negative. Bill's rate is what we're looking for. We're still going to use 0 and 1 for the payment and the time. Annual rate is what I'm looking for. Length of time between the time Bill paid the $1,000 and when he got back $1,040, that's 6 months, because he gets the money from his friend at the 6-month mark. He doesn't get to keep this 1066. Bill is out of this CD after 6 months. His friend takes over. Okay, Excel can find the rate. Using the rate formula, number of periods, 1. Payment, 0. Future value, present value. Present value is $1,000. Future value is 1040. Ignore the type or put in a 0, either way, and then give Excel a guess. My favorite guess is 10%. And that's 4%, but again, realize it might be rounded. Nope, looks like a straight 4%. Okay, then, to find the annual rate, to find R, solving for the annual rate, I take the rate per period and I divide by the time. So rate per period, but he made that 4% in only half of a year. So that's the equivalent of 8% for the entire year. So he started off, if he would have kept his contract with the bank, he would have made 8.8%. But he gave away part of his interest to his friend by giving him a higher interest rate. Okay, good luck. Let me know how it goes.